New from Eureka and their Masters of Cinema collection, number 262 is Vampyr. A movie that I have long wanted to see. Was waiting for hopefully Eureka to release it, and now they finally have. Released in 1932, directed by Carol Theodore Dreyer. This is a movie that I just was not prepared for. Now, I had heard a wonderful word of mouth about. I sat down fully prepared to be immersed in this rather kind of short movie, and was just blown away by the creativity, a lot of the filmmaking, the mood, the atmosphere, everything that's built up in here. Now, this is a talkie. It's just after the silent period, but there's not a lot of dialogue in the movie itself. We start up with a little blurb telling us about our main character, Alan Gray, and his love and interest of all things supernatural and vampiric. And he travels to a small town, staying overnight when he suddenly feels a presence. There's something going on, and he's drawn into the world of vampires, as he sees it, supernatural entities. And the story is interesting. It's fine. It keeps the beats ticking along, and it has some really shocking moments. But I feel that everything about Vampyr that makes it so special is the editing, the choice of angles, the filmmaking itself just adds such a wealth to this one. This is one of the most well-directed movies from this period in time that I think I've ever seen. The choice of angles, the way it puts, it breaks the rules of filmmaking. We see characters leave on the left side of the screen, enter on the right. We get to see strange angles of things happening. You get to see wonderful shadow play in this one as well, as we pan along walls where shadows of another world play into the real world. There is a real mix here of fantasy and reality, a real playfulness where you don't know what's going on. The characters are all wonderfully portrayed. Some are red herrings, some are odd, some just come in for small sequences, but they all liven the screen. They all add to the wonderful aesthetic that we've got going on here. But it's the filmmaking that I truly appreciate here, and it's the one that's going to bring me back to it. I like the story, but I love the little touches that accentuate that bring it to life, that make it a little bit uncanny, that make it stick in your mind. And it's a lot of strange images that I utterly loved. There is a character at the end who gets dispatched in such a horrific, slow and just terrifying manner that I kept waiting on someone to save this person in this situation, and it never comes. There is some strange and interesting vampiric lore built into this one, particularly that if you give blood to someone that's under the curse of being a vampire, then part of them is now connected with you, and you can feel things in that situation. There's a moment later on with our hero Alan as he is almost transported into the body of someone that is about to be buried, and the coffin has a little window on it, and you get this unusual angle looking up to the sky as this coffin is paraded to the grave. It's such a vivid image, and it just stuck in my head watching it how fantastic it was. But it has lots of moments like that where it challenges the viewer to sit up and pay attention to this wonderful movie. Vampyr, classic, fantastic, masterpiece. It was one of those movies that I watched again, and then I watched again 3 times in the one morning. I just kept putting this thing back on, loving it. It was everything I could possibly have hoped for, and more. The story, like I said, is pretty good. It's solid, but it's the little flourishes and the touches around about the way of telling the story that I feel just make this utterly wonderful. Of course, Eureka have released a limited edition package for this huge title, which involves a booklet, but there's some good extras on the disc as well. So let's have a jump into that, have a look at these extras, what they have to offer. Here we are in the disc for Vampyr. As you can see, there's several options here with the English subtitles, with the Tony Raines commentary, which is really very academic, very fun. Then we have the Guillermo del Toro commentary, which is more passionate from the filmmaker's perspective. Next up, we have the film with unrestored audio English subtitles. Next up, we have the visual essay by Casper Tyberg, which is 36 minutes and 1 second, and works as a kind of enlightenment to the movie, giving lots of behind the scenes and making of, but informing a lot of information and the effects of the film. Next up, we have Carol Theodore Dreyer by Jürgen Roos from 1966, and it's 30 minutes, and it's pretty much a talking head with Dreyer himself, which is really good to have included here, really interesting. Next up, we have Kim Newman on Vampyr, which is 22 minutes 24 seconds. Kim just waxing lyrical about how amazing this film is. First up, we've got David Huckville on composer Wolfgang Zeller, which is 36 minutes 39 seconds and is really informative. And then we have David Huckville again on Sheridan Le Fanu, which is 11 minutes 38 seconds, which basically talks about the book that this movie was kind of based on, a book of anthology stories where things were borrowed and stolen. And then we have The Baron by Craig Keller, which is 14 minutes 25, and it's basically a sort of biography of Gunsberg, I believe Baron Gunsberg, and just his lifestyle, which is again fairly interesting. And then we have censored scenes from the French version, 3 minutes 50, 2 scenes in the movie, Death of the Vampire in its full glory, and even better, the suffocation sequence at the end, which I feel should never have been removed from the movie. It's so impactful and well worth checking out. And that's the wealth of extras that you get with Vampyr. In addition to that, you get a 100-page book as well, which is amazing. I have still to go through that, and I am looking forward to digging up more information on this title. I want to know if you're picking this up, want to know if you've seen it, your thoughts on the movie. Do you like it, love it, hate it, whatever? Let me know in the comment box below. We'll have a little conversation about this wonderful film. I'm looking forward to our chats about this one. As always, there's more content up here if you want to see more of my reviews. Hit that like button because all kinds of magic happens, apparently. I don't know, but click it anyway and we'll see what happens. And inside the description box below this video, there is a link to my Patreon and membership program if you'd love to join that and really help out this channel. I think I want to go and watch Vampyr again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.